Imagine this. You wake up, pick up your phone, and there's a comment from someone you barely know. One line of praise and you feel light all morning. One line of criticism and your whole day feels heavy. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why am I giving away the remote control of my mood? Why is my happiness or my sadness in someone else's hands? This is exactly the question the ancient Stoics wrestled with. They taught that freedom and inner peace don't come from controlling the outside world, but from controlling ourselves, especially how we respond to the world. When you learn not to let other people decide your mood, you take back the deepest kind of freedom, a freedom no one can take from you. The first thing Stoic philosophy invites us to do is draw a clear line between what's ours and what isn't. What's ours? Our thoughts, our attitudes, our choices, our reactions. What isn't ours? The weather, other people's words, their judgments, their behavior, the ups and downs of society. Every time you let your mood be ruled by something you can't control, you're handing over the keys to your own life. Think of your emotions as a home. Your mind is the door. If you keep the door wide open all the time, anyone walking by can come in, rearrange your furniture, maybe even break things. But once you realize this is your home, you have the right to decide who enters. That's what it means not to let others decide your mood. You're the one with the key. Watch yourself for just one day. Someone compliments you, you're up. Someone criticizes you, you're down. A text is ignored, you're anxious. A cold glance, you're unsettled. Your emotional graph spikes and dips like a stock market tied to every outside signal. That's emotional dependence. The Stoics would call it a form of slavery. You've lost your freedom because you've stopped being in charge of yourself. But this isn't destiny. It's just a habit we picked up early in life, searching for approval and validation. And habits can change. With awareness, you can start separating your reactions from other people's behavior. Here's the Stoic core. It isn't events that disturb us. It's our interpretation of those events. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If something external troubles you, it isn't the thing itself, but your judgment of it." And you can erase that judgment right now. When someone insults you, the words themselves are just sounds. They have no power until you interpret them. He's disrespecting me. I'm worthless. Or, that's just his opinion. Different interpretations, different moods, and those interpretations are yours to choose. So how do you stop handing your mood over to others? You practice. Here's how. Stoic style. Pause before you react. When something stings, don't snap back. Breathe. Count to 3. That pause gives your rational mind a chance to step in before your reflex does. Ask the Stoic question, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If it's yes, act, but act calmly and on purpose. Focus on actions, not outcomes. Do your best, speak your truth, but don't tie your peace to how people respond. You're responsible for effort, not for reactions. Build your inner fortress. Through reflection, journaling, meditation, self-questioning, you strengthen a mental stronghold. The stronger it is, the less the outside world can shake you. Remind yourself every day, each morning, say, today someone may insult me, ignore me, or betray me, but I still get to choose my response. My emotions belong to me. When you stop letting others decide your mood, you'll feel changes. Inner calm, less drama, less pointless agitation. Confidence, you know you hold the steering wheel. Mental freedom, you're no longer chained to other people's approval. Healthier relationships, You engage with others calmly, not from emotional dependence. Self-leadership. You act instead of just reacting. Another Stoic skill: step outside yourself and watch your feelings like a witness. When anger rises, think, look, there's a person feeling angry. That little bit of distance stops you from merging with the anger. You see it as a passing state, not as you. And when you're not fused with it, you can release it. The Stoics taught that your worth doesn't come from other people's opinions, but from your own virtuous actions. If your joy comes from approval, you'll be sad when disapproved. But if your joy comes from doing what's right, you'll stay steady even when misunderstood. That's real freedom. This isn't just for emperors and togas. In the age of social media, we need it more than ever. Every like, comment, and share can jerk our emotions around. Without practice, we become slaves to an emotional algorithm. With practice, we can post what we believe, share what matters, and remain steady regardless of the feedback. Life will always bring praise and blame, warm glances and cold shoulders. You can't change that, but you can always choose your response. When you learn not to let others decide your mood, you've taken a giant step toward inner maturity. You'll feel lighter, freer, calmer. Remember, your mood is your right. Don't hand the keys of your happiness to anyone else. Each morning before you check your phone, before you walk out the door, tell yourself, today things may happen. People may disappoint me, but I choose to keep my peace. My emotions are mine. I am in charge of me. Repeat that day after day. You'll notice something shift. You're no longer being tossed around by outside forces. You're steering your own inner ship. And that's one of the greatest powers the Stoics wanted to give you. The power of self-mastery. The power to live free in a world of constant change.